Okay, let me put it this way. So the planet used to have an estimated 6 trillion trees. That's how many trees were on the planet before mankind came about. Today, we have 3 trillion trees. So okay, we cut down a lot, but we could put all of that back. Like we really could. Advances in agricultural productivity mean that there's less land competition now that food production, now there's less land competition now between food production and forests. And solar desalination means we can bring water to areas that have dried out. It's actually entirely feasible to bring back all or most of those forests. Like planting even 1 trillion of those just means that every human being planting 1 tree a month every month for 10 years will get there. And so in a couple of decades, we could bring back almost all of those forests, like 2 to 3 trillion. It's quite simple. Like we know how to plant trees and every human can participate. So, so I ask you this, what other resource could you say this about? Like oil, gold, like rare earth elements, like all of those things. Once you dig them out and use them, there's no more.
Trees are ultimately a unifier for most people. When you're out in the forest and you live in the forest, which a lot of people on the right in the United States do, politics goes by the wayside. When you're talking about the health of a forest, you really aren't talking about political identities. And whether you're hiking, you're skiing, you're logging, whatever you're doing in the forest, people don't care about political identities at that point. They care about the forest. And so what we need to do is start not seeing every issue as a political identity issue. When people think of environmentalism, they think of identity politics. They think of me versus you. I even see our community do it in the environmental space. It's like us versus Trump. No, the problem is environmental degradation. The problem is that we don't have a deep connection as a society anymore with the environment past a political lens. Everyone kind of sees it through a political lens. And so it's become a team sport. The environment is not a team sport. There's no winners and losers. We're all either winners or we're all losers. That's the trade-off that we have.
The direct air capture folks have taught us there really isn't a rule of how much people will pay for carbon. It depends on how confident they are in what they're paying for and how interested they are in scaling what they're paying for. And so you're seeing incredibly high prices paid for direct air capture, far, far more than anybody would think they would be willing to pay for nature-based credits. And so how do all of us in the nature-based space define a new platinum grade credit that is everything we want on carbon and climate adaptation, everything we want on biodiversity, everything on just transition and community benefits, and say that's the work we want to do. Here's the realistic price point to deliver that, and reset the pricing expectations for reforestation done really right, just the same way the direct air capture people have reset the expectations of what you're willing to pay for. And I think there's a chance if we do that, put all those kind of pieces together, public sector action, private sector adjustments, and then new expectations of what it's going to cost to fund this work the right way, we can scale reforestation and reforest the world.